So today we're going to talk about how you can add easily more options here in the meta box, or even create your own meta box in the eLearnCommerce environment very easily. So I've made a new plugin. I've just called it example WPP meta fields. It's actually eLearnCommerce meta fields. And to do this, I will dig up a bit through my code. So I know that here in WPP app, in the admin, there's a coordinator called field library, right? So I have a field library, and there are multiple options I can use this field library. So I'll just go here, and I see how the meta boxes are registered, right? So it takes the meta boxes and it registers them. The way you can define your own meta box is by using this filter, right? Just by looking through the code, you can see that this is how you define your own meta box. So this is an example on the content library. It's all very dynamic on how it defines the meta box. And this is how you define fields. To make things simple, I want to add in the general options here for courses, let's say I want to add another field, or wherever. I just want to add another field. And how I'll do that. First, I need to identify where I need to add my box. And this video is more educational on how you can also find things easier by yourself by just using the code. So this is the filter that I will be working on. So I will add filter function. This filter has just one argument. So I'll just look. So no argument, it's just the meta box definition. So it's meta box definition. I will do it very late. So I'll just do it like at the end. And I'll just do, we have this new function instead of a var dump when it's not enabled. And I'll just do an exit. And here I'm on the course page where this meta box would be loaded. And let's see what we have. Okay. I need to activate my plugin. This is very important. I'm watching how the page refreshes. It should take just a moment. The plugins page takes a while to load because I cleaned it up a bit. So we have, how would I call it? eLearnCommerce meta fields. Great. So I just activated it. Hopefully it doesn't generate any, it will generate outputs most likely, or actually no, because they're not going to be displayed here, so it's fine. So I'll just refresh this. Okay, so now I have the dump. So you can see I have a bunch of keys, but I can see here WPP course settings. So let's put a bit of light here. So I'll just do a for each as meta box definition key, and I'll do one with value, and I'll just echo h2 and this here. So let's see what we're going with. So I have WPP course settings. So this is the one I care about. So if not is set of meta box definition of WPP course settings, so it's not on the settings page of the course, I'll just return this. And if it's there, we'll start playing around with it. So let's do a WPP debug dump of this. So this is where I want to interfere. Oh, I should do an exit just for the sake of seeing what I want to see. I have a bit of space up on the recording in the browser because I hide the debug bar just to have more space. So it's pretty obvious that there is a definition that I just saw. So there is this ID, there is this string, but what we care about is fields. So here in fields, you can see there's multiple ones. I'm doing this because I don't have debug bar enabled and I'm too late. Xdebug enabled, which is great. If you're doing development without Xdebug, you're just killing yourself in a way. So this is what I care about, to add a new field. So I will register a new field. Let's say I want to put a new input field. I'll just call it my custom input. Now to make things easy, I have already this thing here where I register them, so I'll just copy paste this text. You can just look for the same WP meta boxes to get some inspiration on how you can do them. So there's a name, there is a description. This can be also written desk or description. I recommend you write description because maybe one day we'll eliminate the desk option. There's a name, there's a description, there's an ID, and there is a type. And optionally, you can put a placeholder. We do not have a documentation for this, but in my opinion, you can learn them easier from the code. So you go here in container. So in WP app container, we have form fields, right? So I go here, and you can see here we have a lot of fields. So if you ever want to display fields, you can use this trait and include it into your project and use the entire thing at your own the own way you want. Or if you want to see how the definitions work, here in field library, I have a display fields method, and you can see exactly how it works. There are many field types. I can make, for example, if I want to make a select, the naming is pretty obvious. So field type is select, then it will the field options are from an array called options. There can be a class, there can be a default value. There's also this ID, which is the field key. If the field value is not there, it will take it by the field key from the trait. So here in the form fields, there is a set field prefix, but there's also a few methods which are get value. So there is the get value and get value translated. So here you can make your own methods to get the value based on the field key, which is the ID in this case. So I put my custom input there. Let's say my custom input. Now this field will be added at the end. I will show you how you can put it at the start too. So I won't want a description. I just put this. So this is how easy I will add a custom meta field input for my courses. Just with this code. You don't need to include any custom field libraries when you're in the eLearnCommerce environment. You can just use our own way of adding fields and make it easy for you. So here you see I have my custom input. So I will just write a value here. I like pizza. Right? So I wrote I like pizza. I just hit update. Again, the whole code is this. I don't have to do anything else. I just register the field in the meta box definition. And if I scroll down, it's saved. Now let's say I want to move this field to be the first one. It's fairly easily. So the way I can do it is like this. So I put this equals to array plus this, and I put here like this. So it's just basic PHP to change the array position. So this is what I've did, and now if I reload, it will be at the top. So I like pizza. Let's add another one. So let's say my custom select. So type is select and options is how it's called from what I can tell. Yep. If not values, so test, test, test2, test2, diff key, diff value. So I have it like this, and I'll just refresh now. So yeah, by the time I refreshed, I didn't change it into select. So you can see here that this is a custom select. I'll just select the diff value, which has a diff key, just to show you that it's not relevant to what you write there. It actually checks the key value. The label is just for your customers, right? Because maybe an option is called chicken, but it actually does bear. I don't know, but it's not a good idea. So look, I made a mistake. So what was my mistake? I did not put the correct ID here. So I need to put the correct ID. This is actually irrelevant. We don't check the key necessarily. So you can just put anything you want, but for consistency purposes, make sure you put it, and you're always careful that you put these here as intended. So let me just refresh. So this will be, it will still be div key, right? We just wait. The reason it's overwritten it like that is because of how the HTML parser from the PHP request works. So now I don't have anything there. I do. No, I don't, because I didn't. So I put this as test2 and I call this I like pizza. So now I update and it should work, and it's there. The way you retrieve this in a course environment, so retrieving this data is actually very simple. You just use get post meta of your course ID or post ID, this and true. Or for this case, you just retrieve it like this. So pretty simple, pretty obvious. This is just a quick video to show you how you can easily use the eLearnCommerce meta. We have a lot of field types, and if you want to check it out, you just go into the field library and you can see all the options there that you can use. You can also use the learning journey aspect if you want, the list, the attributes map, attributes, date, time, input, image, color picker, editor. We have two definitions for it, multiple select. So all this can be easily done, and you don't have to use a external library. If you need more field types than this, like repeater or anything else, just go ahead and use it. But if you just need a basic repeater with just text, you can use the list one. Or if you need a key value repeater field, you can use the attributes or the attributes map. So you just have to play around with them. My suggestion is just look how other definitions work and see how the code does it. We don't have an extensive documentation, but if you just look through the code and try to replicate on how we do it, I'm pretty sure you can build anything if we already built it. or extend anything that we already built. Have a great one.